The waters was where it all began. Ancient ones tell tales of the primordial waters that were here before and will continue to flow long after our departures. In the sacred story of the Tree of Life, it is said that nothingness had been floating for no one knows how long upon the invisible waters of time, that mighty river with neither source nor mouth, which was, which is, and ever shall be. Overseen by Tongaroa, the great atua of the seas, lakes and river, and son of Papatuanuku and Ranginui, Father Geb and Earth Mother, Obatala and Mother Nuit, guardians of the cosmos. In the deepest waters, Olakun was birthed, and Yemaya presides over the surface waters. And when she meets with her younger sister Oshun, it is said this is where water meets water. To this day, we remember our ancestors as we remember and honor the sea. Our arrival here was through the waters of the wombs of our mothers, overseas in walkers, ships, and planes. Our bodies are made up of 70% water, and so is the earth. Body is land, and water is connective tissue. The water element is a reflection, portal, and reminder of the importance of this vital source of nourishment, rejuvenation, and survival. In the transitional times we're in, where the tides of change seem overpowering, the waters are there teaching us to flow. When was the last time you returned to the waters to drink from them? In Sesa Mathlo Apothecary, we have gathered the waters that sustain us in a well that never runs dry. The well is where everyone gathers for water. It is also a place where pleasantries, stories, and teachings are shared. It is an invitation for us to consider what we lose when stories and experiences of our communities are siloed and exist in the margins. In Sesa Mathlo Apothecary, the well is our race, culture, and identity offering that centers embodied self-care with the understanding that our wellness and well-being aren't separate to the social justice action and change that is necessary in our society. Embodied refers to the biological and physical presence of our bodies, which sets the tone for the emotion, language, thought, and social interaction that we have. We experience and go through life through our embodied presence, and as these waves of change wash over us, most of the work we do is for enlightenment. It is in our head. It is the reading, the understanding, the discussions, the theories, and the sharing. All of which is important. At times in that enlightenment space, I would find myself trying to keep my head above the water. And as each swell came in, I'll be looking for that anchoring, stillness, and grounding. Those still, gentle waters for self-care and enlivening. Self-care describes their activities and intentional action one takes to care for their mental, emotional, and physical health, well-being, and wellness. One's quality of life and sense of well-being is impacted by factors such as race, culture, identity, sexuality, and class, amongst other things. The process of achieving and maintaining self-care involves acceptance of self, tools and spaces for community care that allow us to enliven and ground. With sustainable and holistic contributions to social change in mind, the well is the allowing space, a meeting of the enlightenment that happens as we learn, and the enlivening that anchors and grounds us. As our stories and languages are memory banks of history, we use storytelling and self-care activities to rectify the attentional violence that impacts our embodied self due to not being seen for who we fully are. Facilitated through a series of 5 sessions, the well is a space where we teach, mentor, and nurture dialogues about race, culture, and identity. Each session is delivered fortnightly over a course of 10 weeks and includes live facilitation, activities, recommended reading material, study guides, and exercises. We journey through the stories, narratives, theories, and concepts, reflect on what they mean for us, and dream up our own. We start with the soil, which is all about embodied self-care and sharing the tools for maintaining self-care. We then move to the roots, where we find out each other's stories and what they mean for building equity. In session 3, we arrive at the trunk, where we look at what informs our reality in understanding power, fragility, and guilt. From the trunk, we look at the leaves and what we cultivate. How do we embrace the realities of our environments? Finally, we bear the fruit in session 5 and look at what embodying action for a world that honors the symbiotic nature of our humanity looks like. My name is Makanaka Tuwe. I am the Mambokazi, Nyanduri, and herbalist of Sesa Mathlo Apothecary, where the well sits ready for us to drink from.